Dave, a return to winning ways in the week, a much more front-footed, ruthless display from your side. What do you think clicked to you on Tuesday night?
Um, Difficult to say what clicked. I think the challenge is to find that consistency. Like I say, I don't think that just because the performance on Tuesday was good that's it. We've cracked it. I think there is going to be some ups and downs. We are still looking at different things. We are still trying things on the job, if you like, which in League One's difficult to do. But that's the path that we've chosen to go down. So there are bits that we have to keep and replicate, which I think are pretty obvious. And there's other bits, even within the game Tuesday, that we can get better at. And that'll be a constant over the course of the season. The big challenge for us is to make sure we try and pick up results whilst we're still doing that.
The result not the only positive. There were plenty of individual highlights on the night. A great display for a returning Will Collar, Carl Wotton back on the score sheet, to name a few. Did we also see the best from Tyler Onyango?
I think that's an easy question. Yeah, absolutely. Tyler, I suppose, like quite a lot of the players, even players that we brought in permanently, this is a different challenge, a different football club with different expectation, playing in a division that he's not had the experience and playing in a different position for him. So there are different things that he's had to go through. Had a difficult experience in the first half of the Barnsley game, and has had to be patient with his return, if you like. But I think that showed a little bit of what he can do, and when he can perform in that manner, then I think everyone would see that he has a bright future in terms of what's ahead for him. Again, like I've said, with the challenge for us as a collective is to find that consistency, and that'll be exactly the same with him. He needs to be able to replicate those types of performances game in, game out. And we more than think he's capable of doing that. So a great performance from him, quite rightly pointed out, and has got some plaudits for it. Like I said, the test for him now is to make sure he does that again and again and again.
You made a number of changes on Tuesday, and you've already touched on the selection headache you've had facing you this season. Does that performance now add to that headache?
No, not really. So you take every game on its merits. There are some decisions that, unfortunately, as much as we could make tough decisions, realistically, they're probably taken out of my hands in terms of what we can do because of the schedule. And although tomorrow is an important game, one that we want to progress and win in, we've probably got to look at the next couple of weeks for us in terms of home league games against Wycombe, Bolton, and Wrexham. They're probably bigger games and more important games, but we have a game in front of us tomorrow that obviously is important, and one that we want to win. And regardless of what team we play tomorrow, there'll be a different challenge ahead in terms of Wycombe on Tuesday. So some of the lads that played Tuesday was the first game back. Does that mean we can go with them again and then expect them to go again on Tuesday and again on the following Saturday? Probably not. So unfortunately, we're still in a situation where we're forced to make changes due to that decision being the most sensible one, to make sure that the players we have got coming back are able to compete at the best level for as long as possible, not just bringing them back in for a couple of games, us doing too much with them, then breaking down and then lose them again for a significant period. And that's been the case for large parts of this season. We also have the choice and the luxury a little bit of being able to freshen things up. And when you go from Saturday to Tuesday, the importance of that intensity can be massive. I think we saw that on Tuesday with the changes that we made and the players that came back in made a big impact. And that's going to be the case regardless of what team we pick on the Saturday if it does change on the Tuesday.
Does tomorrow's game allow you to give minutes to those who've perhaps not had as many as they'd like this year, or because of the result and the performance, do you perhaps have to be a little bit more ruthless in your selection to keep that momentum going?
It does and it doesn't. So again, will we risk any players that, for example, played on Tuesday and their efforts, whether it be in terms of load or them coming back, for their first game or first few games. Will we risk them again and expect them to go again on Tuesday? Probably not. And there are some players in the squad that have played pretty much the whole season, and we probably see more than maybe people outside of here do, because we see the players day to day and can tell the ones that maybe mentally look a little bit tired and physically look a bit tired, and some of them, if we can give them a break, then we'll look to do that. And if that one game freshens them up and makes them at their very best for the next 3 league games and the Bristol Green Rovers game, then that's the perfect scenario. What it doesn't do is take away the importance of the game. So there will be some changes, but there'll still be a really strong team that put out, because ultimately we want to progress. This competition is one that is massively important for the football club. Brings with it opportunity, and brings with it opportunity not only to play against big sides, and if you do progress, but brings the opportunity of prize money, which is obviously always going to be important. So we want to win the game. Again, it's a different scenario this year with one game and extra time and penalties, and the game being settled on the day, and we want to make sure that we're in that draw whenever that might be.
Just on tomorrow's opposition, they're coming into this game in a great run of form. What can you expect from Steve Cottrell's side?
Listen, a really tough game. Be very clear, although there are two divisions between the teams now, we were both in the same division less than 6 months ago, so not a whole lot's changed in that period. You look at, we've made some changes in the off season and evolved our squad into our, I suppose, start into League One. They're not a whole lot different than they were in League One with us, and have gone into the National League, and as I expected, have started really, really well, and we expect them to be the ones to beat, if you like, in terms of promotion back into the Football League. So we expect a really, really tough game. Like I say, just because all of a sudden there looks a gap between where the two teams are playing. That certainly wasn't the case when we played them. Again, a tight game here last season, and then to be fair, when we played them away from home, we were really good on the day and convincing winners. But we know that we need to produce a performance similar to what we did on Tuesday to give ourselves the best chance of winning.
Just on the injury front, looked to be a little bit of concern around Louis Barry at half-time on Tuesday, but he seems to have come through. Any further injuries or any updates from any of the lads out at the minute?
No, just the Powley one with his hamstring. So again, more severe than would have hoped. And I suppose bad news and good news on that front. So a 4C, which in normal circumstances may require surgery. The good news is he doesn't require surgery, but still doesn't take away from the fact that he's probably going to be 12 weeks or so. So that's news on that one. I suppose that the positives is that we have players coming back. So Campsey and Noilly both out on the grass running. Campsey certainly in front of Noilly where that looks like. Hopefully and possibly this weekend the return of Macca and Ryan Rydell, which will be really, really positive, and Jay Mingy back training. So again, we are getting those bodies back fit. The big hope for us is that that continues to happen and we don't lose bodies as we have done in Powley's case. Just
finally, a special competition up for the cup.
Yeah, as I say, it's a fantastic competition to play in. It gives the opportunity. I don't think it's ever lost its magic. Some will say it has a little bit, but whether you're a non-league team that gets to the first round, whether you're a League Two or a League One team that wants to try and get to that third round draw to give yourself the biggest tie possible, there's still that excitement, and we want to give ourselves the best chance of progressing and getting through. Are we going to win the FA Cup? No, we're not. Let's be very clear about that. But that doesn't mean that dreams and memories can't be created as a result of cup competitions. We know from the previous few years, from our perspective, I only just look back nearly 3 years to the day going to Bolton as my first game as manager here was really special. And in terms of the replay and bringing them back to Edgeley, I think that'll be a memory that lives with everyone for the rest of their lives. So you can create huge memories in this competition. We're going to try and do that as best as possible we can this year.
Appreciate your time, Dave. Thank you.
Welcome. Cheers. Thank you.